Hey y'all, hey, it's JJ Conway. Welcome to Building Wealth Together, where our goal is to help you walk in abundance and leave a legacy. It's Juice with JJ. This is where I keep you informed about scams, financial controversies, and money shenanigans so you can keep your cash flow out of their pockets and funding your dreams. Let's get into it. Hey y'all, hey, it's JJ Conway, and I want to welcome you to Building Wealth Together. I have got a fantastic guest for you. Today's special guest is Shane Mulgrew. Entrepreneurs and business professionals hire Shane to build seven-figure enterprises and more life guaranteed. Shane provides a done-for-you seven-figure business coaching program for entrepreneurs and coaches. And that's why I originally wanted to have him on the show. But as I got to talking to him, I realized that he has something even more powerful that you need today. So we're going to talk about that at another time. But today we're going to talk about how you can use a strategically proven method to really unlock your optimum performance. Not just about the dollars in the bank account, but also the performance of your body and your ability to move forward with your life. Shane, welcome to Building Wealth Together. I'm so excited to have you on today.
JJ, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I say this is something that I do a lot of, but not for obviously for your community. So hello everyone, and hopefully I can provide you with some value today, you know.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, as we were talking before, one of the things that I liked that you discussed was how there are certain things that we can do. It's really a practice. It's a set of habits. It's a set of ways of being that really unlock our optimum performance. And I know for me, it's become even more important because as I've matured and suffered some accidents and other things, it's for me, what I eat, how I work out, whether I get to sleep, all of those basic things, they really help my performance. But then it's really about more for me of the entire being. And so when you started talking earlier, I really wanted you to bring this presencing, this art of presence, this mastery of presence to my audience, because I think you're going to be able to explain it in a way that I can't explain it. So can you talk to us a little bit more about that? Well, wait, first, tell us a little bit about your background.
Yeah. So I come. I'm from Ireland. Maybe you gathered that. I come from a great family background. I mean, I had a great upbringing. I was heavily involved in sport, which actually, I suppose, prompted me to completely neglect my education growing up at school. So I was just obsessed with sport, and I always wanted to be a professional sports person. And then I suppose when that didn't exactly materialize, life got pretty hard as I went into adulthood, and I had to make a transition from the educations from school till full-time work and working with the older generation and to be honest, the generation that I went into was a building site, which so it wasn't a very happy environment, and most people just didn't like their life and didn't like themselves, and I suppose that was infectious on me, and that period of time was difficult. But yeah, I've done as a career, as a job, I've done everything. I've been in sales, worked in building sites, I've worked part of studios, I've worked in manufacturing departments. So I've done it all, and then I suppose before I made the transition, I was a plant machinery mechanic as well, which was fine. It was fine to be able to do that. That was a skilled position, but it just wasn't me. And then I suppose that's how my business or career kicked off after that job. You know.
Well, I see that you've had a lot of different experiences. I'm also somebody who had a lot of different experiences. And when I finally found something that I'd love to do that compensates me well in the marketplace, and allows me to pursue my family and spiritual and other goals. It was like a win-win-win. But there's so many fascinating things out there. And one of the things that I've seen, you mentioned with one of your earlier jobs, I think we see it across all markets. So many people are unhappy with themselves. They're unhappy with their performance. They're unhappy where their lives are, and they're not sure that they can do anything to move forward.
Yeah, I think it's the world we live in today, and it is infectious. Like positivity, like happiness, unhappiness and sadness and negativity is infectious as well. And normally, it's the more negative aspects of our lives that we dwell on, and society and conformity and things like that. We tend to fall into that bracket really, really easily as we grow up. And we become a part of that, and so it's really hard to get out of that cycle. But I think what I want people to understand is that life's meant to be, it's meant to be fascinating, it's meant to be amazing, and I don't think it's ever meant to be, the way it is normalized as that life's meant to be really difficult and really hard. But it does start within you, and that's something I had to learn and realize, is that everything that we want out of life, it starts within us, if some people like and want materialistic things, they want the shiny objects. Really, it's we don't want them. We want the feeling of having them. And if feeling is what we want, then we can feel them things right now. We don't need to have $1 million to feel like we have $1 million. So it's really the feeling that we crave. And once you can really grasp that, once you grasp that it's the feeling that we want, then you can start to feel better more often, more consistently. And once you get to that place, then it's all the things that the physical things that you want in life, they come. They start to come, they start to manifest and be attracted to you. Now, there's only one way to know that this works, and it's by physically doing it, it's by physically performing, it's by actually taking action on trying to feel better every single day for as long as you possibly can. So that's what I would say is that life's meant to be amazing, but it does start within you for sure.
Well, this is fantastic, because I think it's fantastic because we're going to be doing a whole class. I'm going to be doing a whole class starting in January about really visualizing your success and walking in abundance, even if the bank account doesn't reflect it yet, and really taking our eye off of those physical tchotchkes of success and looking at true success and true abundance, which you can have an abundant life no matter what situation you're living in. And so I'm loving that. I'm like, oh, I'm eating that up. But the other thing that I'm realizing not realizing, but one of the things that I wanted to bring out is that for a lot of us, we think, oh, I've got to go do more. Oh, I've got to go make more phone calls if I want to be more successful. And those things can feed into success. But a trainer about a year ago, where I was in Louisiana, I was stationed there, and he did some things with me, and he did some manipulations and stuff, just trying to help me get my body back. And he said, walk down here. He said, I want you to walk as slow as you can. And you've probably gathered, Shane, from my personality, there's nothing slow about my personality. I am boom, boom, boom. Let's get it done, 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 done. Right. And so he's like, slower. And I'm like, do you want me to stand still? Like, I'm getting visibly frustrated with this trainer. Right. And he said, here's part of your problem. He said, your problem is you don't know how to slow down, and you don't know how to take things slow. And so if I push you, you're going to get injured when you fall, because you're going so fast and you do everything so fast. You don't have any room in your life or in your body to absorb the hits of life. And he said part of because so we were working on my hips. My hip kept coming out of place, and we were working on the back injuries and the neck injuries. He said, you have to learn how to slow down and be more present in your surroundings. Now, I know when you talk about presencing, that's not what you're talking about, but I know it's a little piece of what you're talking about. So this is for me, it's like, okay, this is a time for us to really challenge our preconceived notions about what it means to increase our performance. And I'm hoping you'll help us do more of that today.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you really just take a moment to think about the simplicities of life and think how astonishingly amazing they are, okay? and we seem to complicate things and wanting to do more. We always want the next big thing, the next new iPhone, for example, and we do everything we possibly can to maybe earn a certain amount of money because we need it. We just crave it so much. But if you think of the simplicities of life, like nature, like silence, like just sitting in a room alone and being with yourself. I mean, they're just simple things that mean a lot to me personally. But most of us can't get into that frame of mind because we live such a busy life. We are maybe business owners or professionals or in a busy career, and everything's go go go. And because we're told that we need to work hard, because we're told that things are meant to be tough, you're meant to go through severely tough times in order to be successful, because that's something that I suppose society or the world we live in today tells us, or maybe advertisements on TV, for example, then we feel like we are always, in a better place if we're busy, if we don't have time for ourselves, if we're, taking action every single day and we're on the grind. You hear that word a lot, we're on that physical grind towards success, so if you think of the really simple things in life, and anybody that's listening, think of something really, really simple that you enjoy, that makes you feel good about yourself. That's what you want more of, because it's giving you that feeling that you want. Really, it's all about feeling good more often than not. If you can feel good every day, you're already in a much healthier place than most people in the world. So yeah, I can completely relate to that. I was that guy. I was that guy that did 18-hour days, and maybe financially rewarding at that time, but I completely neglected my health, my own well-being, and I didn't feel good. I did not feel like an abundant person at that time. So I needed to learn a new ways of how to feel fulfilled and satisfied with my own life personally, and then how to help people with their busy lives as well.
Well, is it just as simple as I'm going to just cut some things out of my life and not be so busy? I mean, what's the first step somebody needs to take today?
Yeah, the what I will say is the steps that people need to take are simple, but they're far from easy to do. That's the problem, is the simple things are difficult to do, because if you look at someone's life right now at this moment in time, they've built up a cycle, and a habitual cycle of life, which is busy, which is all the different types of food, which is alcohol, which is the careers, which is so many things. Maybe you look at past trauma. I know a wee bit about your story, JJ, in regards to your crash that you had. So if you look at back at your life, it's so busy. It's so much. There's so much variety. It's hard to just all of a sudden just completely turn your life upside down and do things in a really simple form. That's really, it's simple, but it's difficult to do. So yeah, it is really about getting yourself into a routine of simple processes. I mean, what I do with some people is try and eliminate the distractions, because that's one of the main problems, is the many plates that people spin, the many distractions that they have. If you look at family life, you look at someone's relationship, which isn't always healthy. You look at maybe your employees, your clients can be difficult to deal with. So there's so many distractions, which then can turn into an excuse. And you've got all these different distractions / excuses. So just to look at someone's life and tell them that to stop doing things, or just do the simple things, that's going to be really hard for them to comprehend. So it's a process, absolutely, and it is. I've said this many times, that accountability is $1 billion business, because if you've got someone to help you and support you and guide you and to make you accountable in your daily life, then that's a great resource to have. It's a great tool to have, and that's why accountability. That's why we have jobs. That's why we have careers. Is because of how important accountability measures are in people's lives. But what I will say is if you can look at your life, and everybody's life's different right now, if you can look at what really matters to you and what you want to achieve, then the simplicities that you want in life right now, they should align to that. Okay, and that's where you take a step back. You close the door of your room, and you be by yourself, and you truly ask yourself a few questions. And what do you truly want out of life? Is it really money? Is it really a big house? You know, these things that we tell ourselves that we want. And then if you can look at the simplicities that align to the priority actions in your daily life, that has to align to what you truly want. Now that's a difficult process to do and to perform, and this is, I suppose, why we're having this conversation today. You know.
Oh, absolutely. And one of my trainings, I haven't done it in years because it's with COVID and everything. But one of my trainings, at the end of it, I surprise all of the ladies by putting up dividers, like to take a test and minimize distractions. But I make everybody empty their purse. And we go through the purse and we pull out everything that's not aligned with who we are. And I even teach that class. And, every year we used to do it every year, every other year, I would still have a ton of things that have just crept into my purse. And it's a metaphor for our life, that things just creep in that really aren't aligned with who you are or where you want to be. And so for me, I find that from time to time, if I say something is important and I look for the feedback is there. And one very poignant example for me that I've really worked hard on this year was, I want to build this business. It's an international business. I'm taking it to 7 figures, and we're trying to do everything to help change the world. But I've got a world here. I've got a husband and 2 kids, 6 and 16, who are counting on me, and they don't need to always see their mother doing everything for everybody else outside the home. And I didn't realize that this time last year. I was flying by the seat of my pants, recently retired from the military, now a full-time entrepreneur. And I was taking my boys home, and I'm on a discovery call, trying to pick them up, tell them to be quiet and hurry up and get in the car, and I need to get home and get on the computer and lock this person in, and to see the look on my oldest son's face. And so after I hung up the call, I asked him as we were driving, and I said, it seems like it really bothers you when I show up to pick you up and I'm on the phone. He's like, yeah, this is supposed to be our time with you. And so I pulled out my phone. Once we got into the garage, I pulled out my phone and I let him watch me building into my calendar every day when it's time to pick them up, that I'm picking up the boys. And that's 1 hour on my day that you are not scheduling a phone call on my calendar, because I am picking it up. And to see the look in their eyes and how they just puffed up with pride and happiness, knowing that mom put them on the calendar. And then for me to realize that had been missing from my oldest. So this was last year. So that was 15 years. He had never been feeling like a priority on my calendar. Yet if you ask me what were my priorities, God, family, and Steelers football. So this would be silly, but I always said that God and family were at the top of my priority list, but were they really? And so I love what you're saying. And so, but I am a little apprehensive. So I'd like you to talk about it a little more, because when I hear about simplifying, I think about those shows with the clutterers. I don't know what they call it in Ireland, but the people who have stuff everywhere in their house, and the people will come in and they make them get rid of like half of their stuff, and they redesign the closet, and it's all beautiful. Well, it's all beautiful, but it's like a third of their clothes. Half of their clothes are gone. So of course there's a lot of space, and of course it's nice, but we have to keep it that way. What do we do as far as maintaining this new awareness and really unlocking our optimum performance?
Yeah, well, you said the word awareness. First of all, if you're unaware of, that there's problems, or that you're not exactly in alignment with your goals, or maybe your family values, then awareness is the first thing. If you're unaware, then you're never going to want to change. You're never going to do it physically. So awareness is the first part of it. It's when we all know that we have to make changes in our life. The other thing is sacrifice. So you had to sacrifice maybe a conversation with a potential client in order to fulfill, your son's needs. And that's a sacrifice, and that's hard for people like us to do, because we are so driven and committed to the cause of, becoming 6, 7, and 8 figure business owners. So that's sacrifice, not that's what it takes to grow and build the authentic and sincere and genuine relationships, not just with your son, but with other people as well. So that's important. What I would say is, in regards to the simplicities, there's certain things that align to your goals in life. There's certain things that align to what you truly want. Okay, and you're a mother, you're a family person, so that's one of your goals. You want to have a healthy and happy family, and
Oh yeah.
you being a mother, you're probably one of the main leaders in that environment. So you're probably a main decision maker. So you had to make a sacrifice and a conscious decision in order to have more time with your family, your son, and that's what leaders do. They make hard decisions sometimes. So your goals need to align to that. So if you've got a goal to have a happy, healthy family, and you've got a goal to get your business to 7 figures, and then you've other certain goals, then that's all that truly matters. Okay, everything outside of that is less valuable. It doesn't have to be a part of your everyday action. Okay, and that's how we eliminate the distractions. That's how we say, okay, you'll tell me that there's a piece of clothing that you really love, that you need in your wardrobe, but I'm here to show you and tell you that you don't need that anymore. Let's throw that out. That's a distraction that we need more space, because we do try and hold on to things. We think that we need to work hard. We think that we need to be busy all the time. And that's something that we need to get comfortable with. And again, getting comfortable with the uncomfortable is a part of growth and a part of your development. So what I would say is, we don't want to focus on just your goal, because that's a distraction. We want to focus in presence and being present. And this is a place where we wanted to get to, is that the present actions that you're performing in your everyday life, they are the building blocks. They are the steps that are taking you to that goal. So they are so unbelievably important. And this is why it's important for you to be present when you're with your son, is because that's an amazing connection that you have. That's an amazing experience. You got to see your son's eyes light up, and that's a feeling that express, you can't really explain that feeling to anyone, because the connection that you have with your son, but it's a feeling. And again, if we can feel good in the present moment consistently every day for a long period of time, then everything that we want, our goals, they will all be attracted. They will come to us. They will be attracted. But isn't it most important to feel that? That's all we want, is to feel good in our life. If we can feel good more often than not in life, in our days, then that's an amazing life, because you feel good. And that's how simple I like to make things. I like to make life is, as much as we want to have all the finances, we want to have the holidays, we want all the amazing opportunities. As much as we feel that's what we truly want, really all we really want is to feel good. And by us taking leadership and taking onus on our own life, that becomes infectious then to others. So like your son, your partner, your family, your friends, your clients, your employees, that becomes infectious. And then all of a sudden, everything that you're surrounded with is just good feelings, amazing feelings. And that's being in presence, and that's living your life in presence,
Okay. Now I am going to throw something out there. We're almost out of time, but I want to throw this out there because, if you ask me what makes me feel good in the morning, one of the things that makes me feel the best in the morning is rolling right over back into bed, pulling the covers over and going back to sleep or playing video games. And I know, and that is not healthy for my long term. So when we're talking about feeling good, I imagine that you're going to say that we're not necessarily doing things that feel good only in the moment, but we're looking at what makes us feel good long term. And getting out of bed and getting on that treadmill treadmill or going for that weights routine or the stretch routine or the things that I do every morning, they make me feel good long term in my body and my comfort in knowing I may have the injuries, but I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do. So can you just talk to that just a little bit? I don't want people to get distracted by this conversation on distractions.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like there's loads of things that feel good. There's loads of. I mean, the reason that people drink alcohol is because it takes them away from their troubles. It's nearly like a numbing feeling for the brain and the mind. So what we wouldn't say go and drink alcohol because it'll make you feel better. So there's certain things that, as you said, are the short-term satisfaction, which is like getting a new client, which is like getting some money in the bank. It's a small because that feeling that you're craving, it's short term. It doesn't last long, and then all of a sudden you're looking for that next good feeling. And again, being comfortable. Like you mentioned, lying in your bed, rolling over, and that feels great, and it does. But I mean, that's not going to get you anywhere. So you need to make certain priority and conscious decisions that align to your goals. So that feeling that you're talking about doesn't exactly align to the person that you want to become, the leader that you want to become. It doesn't align to the goals or the success that you want to achieve. So this is where we have to make certain decisions of, what makes me feel good in my days, but does that align to, the person I'm looking to evolve into and develop to? Like relationships. Actually, this is interesting. I had a conversation today with a client, and she was going through some tough times with her relationship, and her partner. She was getting negative feelings, in regards with her partner. He wasn't exactly fulfilling her needs and requirements. He was controlling her emotionally. So we needed to give her some tools that made her feel better, because what I told her is we can't control the external, which is her partner. We can't control him. We can only control how you feel. So you need to do things that make you feel better, and we need to bring your power back, that sense of strength and confidence back. But we can only ever try and do that by focusing on you and on what's going on within you. Most people, they make decisions and actions based on the external factors. So making decisions based on, okay, I want to grow my business. So to make 7 figures, I need to work on my business. Where sometimes you need to work on yourself first and foremost. You need to change that. So that's what some people find confusing. And look, we could sit and talk all day here about these certain subjects. But yeah, I always, when I'm working with clients and they're maybe trying to develop their business, and they're saying like maybe a system or a strategy doesn't work. So rather than pointing out, we ask them to point in. Okay, so what's not working, within you? Why are you not connecting, properly, making connections with other potential clients or prospects? What's going on in here? What's going on within you? What's maybe the blockages that's going on in your world? And then that sort of escalates into bigger and better things. We get to make releases, and then all of a sudden that individual is able to perform because they haven't then blockages anymore. So there's loads of ways to help people perform and help people find that internal feeling, that happiness within themselves.
Well, that's fantastic. And I think that you're just the voice that they need to hear on really taking their lives to the next level in this way. And so as we wrap up, I know that I'm going to put a link in the show notes that take people to where I've got your LinkedIn profile here. And then I've also got a booking, a quick booking time with you. Actually, it's a full session. It sounds like it's a 60-minute session that you're offering. That is so very generous of you. So I'm going to post those in there, but just for those who are only listening to the podcast and aren't watching or reading the show notes, can you let people know where they can find you if they'd like to connect with you more?
Yeah, so please connect with me. I mean, and in the world we live in, there's a lot of salespeople. I'm not a sales guy. I'm just a person trying to connect with other people, and and help people. And again, look, I'm like everyone else. I might need help as well, so I'm open to that. I'm open to helping others. So you can find me on all the social media platforms. So there's LinkedIn, Facebook. It's just under Shane Mulgrew. You can catch me on my website, which is shanemulgrew.com. But yeah, I mean, reach out to anyone that wants to have a conversation or have a quick chat. Yeah, I'm always open to helping people.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, I think you've helped a lot of people today. I think you've helped people have some hope that they don't have to exhaust themselves to have a life. In fact, in taking steps to strengthen, take back their power and re-energize themselves, bring about those good feelings that they will be able to achieve that optimum performance. And so I want to thank you for being here. And on behalf of Shane and anybody who has been a guest on my platform, I want to thank you all, audience, whether you're listening or you're watching. I want to thank you all for being here today. Support Shane and to connect with him and allow him to support you. I love the fact that he talks about being in a mutual benefit kind of thing where he's blessing you and maybe you're blessing him. I know y'all bless me all the time. I get so much enjoyment from learning from you all. And so we don't want that to stop today. We want that to continue going. I want to thank you all for being here. Join us for next time. Y'all take care and be blessed.
Love the podcast? Be sure to like, subscribe, and forward to 3 friends. You can ask a question or take a life-changing class at buildingwealthtogether.com. Now, go walk in abundance and leave a legacy.